All right, these are your 1-5 notes. It starts out with our angle addition postulate, and this is what we've been doing for a while now. It deals with angles, but it's still a part plus a part equals a whole. That is what we're going to do today. And the rule is that if this line right here, this D, it's the interior, meaning it's inside angle ABC. So do you see how D is inside that angle? Then angle ABD, which is this one, ABD, plus angle DBC, plus that one right there, equals, whoa, you cannot see that, equals angle ABC. All that saying, part plus the other part inside equals the whole outside. Okay? So the best way, the only way to solve these equations is to write on the picture so we know what things are. This says ABD. So ABD is 48. I'm writing it right in the middle because ABD is that angle right there. That one is 48. DBC is 78. So this one right here is 78. And I want to know ABC. So I use my rule, a part. Well, the first part is that purple 48. Part plus a part, the other part is the red 78. Those are the two parts, equal the whole thing. So all I do is add those up, and the blue outside part is 126. All right, I'm going to erase it, and we're going to read it again, and then we're going to put different numbers. DBC, that angle right there is 74. ABC, so ABC, that's the whole thing, is 119. And it wants to know how much this missing part right here is, this angle. So I need to label it. I'm going to put an X in there because I don't know how much it is. Now, part. Well, I've got 74. That's one part. I've got my other part, plus is an X. So that's what I'm going to put. Equals the whole thing is 119. Now all I do is subtract 74. X equals 45 degrees. So that's what that little part is. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Part plus a part equals a whole. And the biggest thing is just labeling it. So PQR. PQR. Okay, that's the whole thing is 141. And we need to find the PQS. We're looking for this missing angle. So all I say is part. My first part is 60 plus my missing part is X equals 141. So I just took the information, part, whole, subtract 60, X equals 81. So that one is 81 degrees. All right, let's look at this next one. DEF. DEF. Okay, well, again, that's the whole thing is 49. And GEF, that little part right there is 23. And we need to find the missing part. I'm going to put an X in there. So, all right, part. First part's an X. Second part's a 23. It doesn't matter which order you do the parts in. equals 49. Subtract 23. X equals 26. All right, I want you to do number 5 on your own. You have to label them because this one's actually, you're going to know the two parts and you're going to be looking for the whole thing. When you're done, flip over to the next page. On this back side, I would also like you to do number 6 on your own. We're going to do number 7 together because it's a little bit extra. TUW. So this first angle right here is 5x plus 3. WUV, this angle right here, is 10x minus 5. And this whole angle is 17x minus 16. All right, and it wants to know what their numbers are, not these ugly things. So I have to set it up. A part. Well, my first part is 5x plus 3. That's a lot of name, but it's okay. Plus, second part is 10x minus 5. And the whole thing is 17x minus 16. First, we're going to do old school baby math on the left. 5 and 10 is 15x. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. I'm actually going to bring my equal sign over here so I'm not writing on those letters. Equals 17x minus 16. Now it's time to get the x's on the move. So I'm going to subtract 17x. Negative 2 minus negative 2x minus 2 equals negative 16. Add 2. Negative 2x equals negative 14. Divide. X equals 7. Okay, so x is 7. Yay! Now, it wants to know how much TUW is. So this first angle right here. So all I'm going to do is say 5. Instead of that x, I'm going to put a 7 because that's what x is, plus 3. That equals, when you put it in your calculator, 38. We'll do the same thing for the next angle. 10 times 7 minus 5 equals 65. And then we'll do it for the whole thing, which is that 17 times 7 minus 16, and that one is 103. Good. All right, get out your vocabulary page. We need to add one definition to that paper. All right, take a minute and pause it. I think this is the 3rd page of your vocabulary. You need to add the words and the picture for the angle addition postulate. So pause it, do that, and then I need you to get out your 1-6 notes. We are moving along. All right, your 1-6 notes are mostly just vocabulary. So first we're going to talk about adjacent angles. The word adjacent means touching. So adjacent angles have the same vertex, which is that point, and share a common side. So when I look down here at the first picture, I have angle 1 and I have angle 2. Well, they share a vertex right here, and that purple and red side are the same one. So these guys are touching, so yes, these are adjacent angles. Let's look at the next one. I have angle 1 right here, and I have angle 2 right here. Well, they're sharing a vertex. They share that side, so yes, they are adjacent. All right, let's look at this angle 1 right here and angle 2 right here. Well, they share a vertex, but that purple and the red are not touching. There's this huge gap between them. So they're not touching, so these are not adjacent angles. Okay, let's talk about what linear pairs are. A linear pair are two angles that make a straight line. And they're adjacent, so they're going to be touching and they're going to make a straight line. So we know that a straight line is 180 degrees, which means if I say I have a linear pair, we know it's 180 degrees. So I have my angle 1 again, and I have my angle 2. And do you see how together they make this straight line? So 1 and 2 are adjacent. They're also linear pairs. Let's look at my next one. So these are linear pairs. And if I told you angle 1 was 100 degrees, we would know that angle 2 is 80 degrees because angle 1 plus angle 2, they are on a straight line, so they're going to equal 180. So 100 plus 80 equals 180. But let's look at this. Angle 1 looks like that. Angle 2 looks like that. Well, they're adjacent because they're touching, but that is not a straight line at all. So these are not linear. This is not a linear pair. Okay, so adjacent means touching. Linear pair means making a straight line. Let's learn about 3 more words. Vertical angles are two non-adjacent, which means, it means not touching angles formed by two intersecting, crossing lines that share a vertex. Whew, that was a lot of big words. They are, we either say back to back, or I can say they are across from. I like to say they're across from. And I will show you what I'm talking about in a second. And vertical angles are congruent, which means equal or the same. So what that means, I'm going to label these angles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so angle 4 right here, the angle that it is across from is angle 2. These guys are vertical. 4 is vertical to 2. That also tells me that if I told you angle 4 was 20 degrees, we would know that angle 2 is 20 degrees because they're congruent. Up here, angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical, which tells me they're the same size. So if that's 160, that one's 160. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And they have different marks because 4 and 1 are not the same, and 1 and 2 are not the same, but 2 and 4 both have the purple 1 mark, and the blue 2 marks are on the 1 and 3 angles. Complementary angles. Complementary means that complementary are two angles whose measures add up to 90 degrees. So I see angle 1 right here, and I see angle 2 right here, and together they have that box, and we know that that box means 90. So angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. So yes, these guys are complementary. All right, what about this next one? I have this 50-degree angle here, and then I have this other angle that's 40 degrees. Well, let's see. 40 plus 50 equals 90. Yeah, So yes, these two angles are also complementary. Supplementary is very similar, except instead of adding up to 90, supplementary angles add up to 180. There's no numbers on this first one, but I've got this angle 1 and I've got this angle 2, but they're on this straight line. I know that the straight line is 180, so that tells me that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary because they make 180 degrees together. This one we do with math. I've got 120 plus 60, that makes 180. So yes, these guys are also supplementary. The way I remember which is which between supplementary and complementary, C comes first in the alphabet, so it's the smaller, it's 90. S comes later in the alphabet, so it's the bigger one, 180. All right, get your notes done, and see you soon.